And it came about after the death of Jesus that the sons of Israel were inquiring by the Lord, saying, Who shall go up for us against the Canaanite as leader, to fight against him? And the Lord said, Judah shall go up. See, I have given the land in his hand. And Judah said to his brother Simon, Come up with me in my allotment, and let us fight against the Canaanite, and indeed I will go with you in your allotment. And Simon went with him, and Judah went up, and the Lord gave the Canaanite and the Perizzite in his hand, and he struck them down at Bezek, 10,000 men. And they found Adoni-Bezek at Bezek, and fought against him, and struck down the Canaanite and the Perizzite. And Adoni-Bezek fled, and they went in pursuit after him, and caught him and cut off the tips of his hands and his feet. And Adoni-Bezek said, 70 kings with the tips of their hands and their feet cut off used to gather the scraps under my table. Therefore, as I have done, so God has paid me back. And they brought him to Jerusalem, and he died there. And the sons of Judah fought against Jerusalem and took it, and they struck it down with the edge of the sword, and set the city on fire with fire. And after that the sons of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanite, who lived in the hill country, and the south and the lowland. And Judah went against the Canaanite who lived in Hebron, and Hebron came out in opposition. Now the name of Hebron was formerly Kiriath-Arboch-Sepher. And he struck down Sesi and Achiman and Tolmi, offspring of Anak. And from there they went against the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir was formerly City of Letters. And Caleb said, Whoever strikes a blow against the City of Letters and captures it first, I will give him my daughter Ashka for a wife. And Gothaniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, captured it first, and he gave him his daughter Ashka for a wife. And it came about, when she entered, that he urged her to ask for the field from her father. And she grumbled upon her draught animal, and cried out from where she was on her draught animal, You have given me away into the land of the south. And Caleb said to her, What do you want? And Ashka said to him, Give me a blessing, since you have given me away into the land of the south. You shall also give me redemption of water. And according to her desire, Caleb gave her the redemption of the upper and the redemption of the lower. And the sons of Jobab the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up from the city of palms to the sons of Judah, into the wilderness that is in the south near the descent of Arad. And he went and settled with the people. And Judah went with his brother Simon, and they struck down the Canaanite who inhabited Sepheth, and anathematized it and destroyed it. And they called the name of the city Destruction. And Judah did not inherit Gaza and its territory, and Ashkelon and its territory, and Acharon and its territory, and Azotus and its surrounding lands. And the Lord was with Judah, and he inherited the hill country, for he could not inherit the inhabitants of the valley, because Rechab commanded it. And he gave Hebron to Caleb, just as Moses had said. And from there he inherited the 3 cities, and removed from there the 3 sons of Anak. And the sons of Benjamin did not remove the Jebusite who lived in Jerusalem. And the Jebusite has lived with the sons of Benjamin to this day. And the sons of Joseph, indeed they too went up towards Bethel, and Judah with them. And the house of Israel encamped against Bethel. Now the name of the city was formerly Luzah. And those who were keeping watch saw a man coming out of the city, and they captured him and said to him, Show us the way into the city, and we will do mercy with you. And he showed them the way into the city, and they struck down the city with the edge of the sword. But they sent the man and his family away. And the man left for the land of Kittim, and built a city there, and called its name Luzah. That is its name to this day. And Manasseh did not inherit Bethshan, which is the city of the Scythians, or its daughters, or its surrounding land, or Echthanad and its daughters, or the inhabitants of Dor, and its daughters, and the inhabitants of Balaam, and its daughters, and the inhabitants of Magadan, and its daughters, or the inhabitants of Jeblim, or its daughters, and the Canaanite began to live in that land. And it came about that when Israel grew strong, he set the Canaanite to pay tribute, and removing he did not remove him. And Ephraim did not remove the Canaanite who lived in Gazer, and the Canaanite was living in his midst in Gazer, and became for tribute. And Zabulon did not remove the inhabitants of Kidron, and the inhabitants of Enalah, and the Canaanite lived in his midst and became for tribute. And Asher did not remove the inhabitants of Akko, and it became for tribute to him, and the inhabitants of Dor, and the inhabitants of Sidon, and the inhabitants of Alaph, and Akzib, and the city of Kelba, and of Ephek, and of Rub, and Asher lived in the midst of the Canaanite who inhabited the land, for he could not remove him. And Naphtali did not remove the inhabitants of Beth-Samis, or the inhabitants of Beth-Haneth, and Israel lived in the midst of the Canaanite, who inhabited the land. Now the inhabitants of Beth-Samis and the city of Beth-Haneth became for tribute to them. And the Amorite pressed the sons of Dan back into the hill country, for he did not allow him to come down to the valley. And the Amorite began to live in the mountain of the myrtle grove, where there are bears and foxes. And the hand of the house of Joseph rested heavily on the Amorite, and he became for tribute. And the border of the Amorite was the Idumean above Akrabin, near Petra and above. Now an angel of the Lord went up from Galgal to Weeping and to Bethel and to the house of Israel. And he said to them, the Lord brought you up from Egypt, and brought you into the land that he had sworn to your fathers to give to you. And he said to you, I will not scatter my covenant with you forever. And for your part, you shall not make a covenant with those who have their seat in this land, nor shall you do obeisance to their gods, but you shall destroy their carved objects, and tear down their altars. And you did not listen to my voice when you did these things. And I said, I will not add to deport the people of whom I spoke, to destroy them from before you, and they shall be for causes of oppression to you, and their gods shall be for an obstacle to you. And it came about, as the angel of the Lord spoke these words to all Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. For this reason the name of that place was called Weeping, and there they sacrificed to the Lord. And Jesus dismissed the people, and the sons of Israel went away, each to his house and to his inheritance to inherit the land. And the people were subject to the Lord all the days of Jesus, and all the days of the elders, those who prolonged their days after Jesus, those who had known all the Lord's great work that he had done for Israel. And Jesus, the son of Naue, slave of the Lord, died a son of 110 years. And they buried him within the bounds of his inheritance, in Thamnathares, in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gaas. And that whole generation was added to their fathers, and another generation arose after them, those who did not know the Lord and the work that he had done for Israel. And the sons of Israel did what was evil before the Lord, and were serving the Baalim, and they abandoned the Lord, God of their fathers, who had brought them out of the land of Egypt. And they went after other gods from among the gods of the peoples who were all around them, and did obeisance to them, and they provoked the Lord to anger. And they abandoned the Lord, and served the She-Baal, and the Ashtartes. And the Lord was furiously angry with Israel, and he delivered them in the hand of plunderers, and they plundered them, and he gave them up in the hand of their enemies all around, and they could not withstand in the presence of their enemies. At every point at which they would prostitute themselves, the Lord's hand also was to them for misfortune, as the Lord had said, and as the Lord had sworn, and he oppressed them greatly. And the Lord raised up judges for them, and delivered them out of the hand of those who plundered them. And indeed they did not listen to their judges, for they prostituted themselves after other gods, and did obeisance to them, and provoked the Lord to anger. And they soon turned aside from the way in which their fathers had walked, in obeying the commandments of the Lord. They did not do so. And because the Lord raised up judges for them, the Lord also was with the judge, and he delivered them from the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For the Lord was entreated by their groaning from before those who besieged and afflicted them. And it came about, when the judge would die, that they relapsed and again caused corruption beyond what their fathers had done, going after other gods, serving them and doing obeisance to them. They did not cast off their practices, and they did not withdraw from their stubborn way. And the Lord was furiously angry against Israel. And he said, Seeing that, inasmuch as this nation has abandoned my covenant, that I commanded their fathers, and has not obeyed my voice. I for my part will not add to remove from before them a man from among the nations that Jesus left behind and let be, to test Israel by means of them, whether or not they would keep to the way of the Lord, walking in it, as their fathers had kept it. And the Lord had let those nations be, not removing them at once, and had not delivered them in Jesus' hand.